They don't.
Yeah, they call him Tony.
Like Tony Danza?
Like Tony Danza. Who's the boss?
Welcome to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
This is episode 112, 111. What is it?
It's 112, I think, dude.
112. Wow. Every time we get higher and higher, it just amazes me. But on tonight's podcast, we look back at an impressive week from the Leafs. Just unbelievable. We are going to break it down. It's awesome. It's also Movember, so get the stashes going, because it's time to grow your upper lip hair for prostate cancer. We're going to talk about that. There's a new mustache in town. Dermott and Hall trade talks. More groin problems because they just never seem to go away. They linger. They stick around. They hurt. We're going to talk about that. No soup for you. Saved by the Stache. Just the tip. Hot in the slot. Hit the showers. And we'll also debut a new segment tonight, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna be hot, but not hot in the slot. But it's gonna be good. Also, don't forget, everybody, make sure that you swing your clock around this weekend. Swing it hard, okay? Because we're gaining an hour. We're gaining an hour, so you got to swing your clock around backwards.
Swing it hard.
Swing your clock counterclockwise. Not clockwise.
Just don't forget to swing your clock around.
Swing your clock.
Weekend. And like Chad said, swing the clock hard. Swing it.
Yeah.
Swing it back. Swing it back hard.
Some clocks will swing themselves, but a lot of time you got to walk around and swing all the clocks that you see. You got every clock, give it a good swing. So
100%. Okay, so a lot to talk about tonight. But two things first. If I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think it does. Two things first. First, I want to say it's like our 3rd year podcast anniversary, man. The first podcast we ever did was early November 2019. 3 years ago that we started this podcast. So happy anniversary, Chatty.
Happy anniversary. Oh, and I also got to give a little shout out. Took my son to his hockey practice this morning. And who do I run into? Our old friend, Matt Kenny.
Oh, no shit, man.
Yeah. His kid played on the other team. They were out practicing together. So I got to talk to Matt. So Matt, he said he listens to every episode of the podcast. Don't forget to swing your clock.
Yep, 100%. Shout out Matt Kenny. Awesome dude.
A lot of these stories that you hear on the Tip In of me and Dale getting into some brunts or swinging clocks, just stuff that happened over the years. Matt was usually there.
Absolutely.
He was usually there. But anyway, let's get into the recap. So on Tuesday, the Vegas Golden Knights roll into town. They are banged up. They're
very banged up.
Oh, they are so banged up. I didn't think Vegas looked very good, but at least win 4-0. Break it down for us.
I thought the fucking Vegas Golden Knights looked like absolute fucking garbage, man. Absolute fucking garbage. I don't know. Maybe it was just like the Leafs decided to fucking like, here we go, or a little bit of both. It
looked like Vegas is missing most of their goal scorers. It looked like a team who couldn't score, but then I say that, and tonight they popped 5 against the Habs. So, but they had won. They had been on a little streak coming into the Toronto game, but the Leafs just shut them down. Soupy with the shutout. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. And the big boys came to fucking play, right? Matthews gets fucking 2 goals, Nylander a goal, and Marner a goal. That Marner goal was ridiculous. The opening goal of the game. Like Tavares does
unbelievable.
Tavares does a great job in the corner to get that puck out front, and Marner, little ditzy doodle like Denny Savard spinorama,
swinging his clock.
That's exactly right. Shout out to Denny Savard. You know a thing or two about him back in the day, don't you?
He knows the thing about spinning around. He also knows the thing about wearing a very, very fitted bucket.
Oh fuck, no doubt, man. So anyway, that Mitch Marner goal was great, and they were coming off of the Detroit win. Like, we should just preface here: the Leafs have now won fucking 5 games in a row. They went from the sky is falling to like, here we go, we're beating the big boys. Like, what a fucking week!
Everything that we talked about on this podcast in the first like 3 episodes of the season, you can just burn it, erase it. Didn't happen.
For now.
Until things go in the shitter again.
Exactly. But yeah, this Vegas game, man, like I don't have the advanced stats in front of me like usual, but Campbell gets the shutout, 26 saves, I think.
Gets the shutout and didn't even get a star of the game.
Well,
like, that's how easy of a game he had.
Yeah, I know. That's how crazy it was. But yeah, so Marner, Matthews, Nylander, there you go. Like, it's like
it was an easy game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, it was, you don't get too many easy wins like that where the other team just is flat for 60 minutes, but they got that. They got the 2 points. Anything else you want to say about Vegas?
The Leafs pumped them, man. Like, the Leafs pumped them.
But the Leafs moving to Thursday, these were the 2 games I was really excited for. Division rivals. 100%. Haven't seen Tampa Bay and Boston since pre-COVID. Super excited. Like, how is this team going to match up against the Stanley Cup champions? Lightning are a little banged up too, but they're still the Tampa Bay Lightning. They still have Vasilevsky in net.
Other than Kucherov, they're really not that banged up, really.
No, but still Kucherov. That's like the Leafs missing Matthews or Marner or something like that. Like,
that's fair.
Fair. Honestly, loved it. Loved the game.
Dude, this was an interesting game. Like, I thought both teams played fairly well here. I didn't love the Leafs start, and at times I thought they kind of were shit. And at times in this game, I thought they were really good. So it was, and I would say the same thing about Tampa Bay. I would say the same thing about both teams in this game. I thought Vasilevsky was awesome in the first half of the game, and Campbell was fucking lights out in the soup. Like, some of the best hockey he's played as a Leaf. This fucking guy. We'll get into Jack Campbell shortly, but my goodness, like, this was fucking ridiculous. 10 bellers all fucking third period, like left and fucking right. Like, okay, the Leafs were pressing because they were down 2-0, right? So like it didn't look good.
They were down 1-0.
Sorry, they were down 1-0. I was texting my brother and I'm like, I don't think they're gonna come back. Like,
that's what the Lightning do, man. They get that 1-0 lead. They get 10 minutes left in the third and they just shut it down.
And that's what I thought was gonna happen here, honestly. Yeah. But anyway, Campbell was fucking ridiculous. If it wasn't for Campbell in the third period, I guess you could say, before I say that, I guess I would say this: if it wasn't for Vasilevsky, maybe in the first 2 periods, it wouldn't have been 1-0 Tampa, and the Leafs maybe could have had a 2 or 3-1 lead. But
yeah, I felt he was making a lot of fluky saves too.
Okay, true, but it's Vasilevsky, right? Like, he's incredible. And on Jack Campbell as well, like, you've got the best goalie in the league in the other net. Like, as for Jack Campbell, like, this was a good fucking test for Jack to see what's up here.
With the defending Stanley Cup champion team in front of him.
Defending Stanley Cup champions, best goalie in the league, and Jack comes in and he just looks like, yeah, I can fucking handle that, no problem. Dude.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. So he goes from getting a shutout and not getting a star in Tuesday's game against the Golden Knights to playing so unreal and giving up a goal in Thursday, but getting the number 1 star.
Did he get the number 1 star, or did Willie?
No, I'm pretty sure Jack Campbell got the number 1 star. And if he deserved the number 1 star, okay, JT scored it, tied it up, and he got physical with when Mitch got hit in the head.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that for a second. So in the first period, Mitch, when the Leafs were down 1-0, which was a fluke goal that they scored, and Muzzin almost fucking ran right through the fucking net, or skated right through the fucking net. But Muzzin
looked. Did he not? Have you ever seen videos of dudes who are like sleeping with a woman and the husband comes home and they're like trying to jump out the window and shit?
That's as fast as possible.
That's what Muzzin looked like. He looked like he was just trying to get out of there as quick as possible.
Yeah, 100%. It was awesome.
Swing the clock.
Exactly. He's going to put the clock back tonight hard. But look, anyway, like so Hedman hooks Mitch. It should have been a penalty shot. That's what I saw. Mitch was clear cut ahead of him.
How is that not a penalty shot?
I have no idea. So not only is Hedman hooking him, then Sergachev comes in fucking late with the
Sergachev, man.
A clear headshot. Like, I don't know, man. I'm very surprised that Mitch stayed in the game.
Well,
like,
it's lucky that Mitch stayed in the game.
I know, because when you watch that back, like, I guess he just, I don't know, he's got a tough chin or whatever, or maybe those new root canals are like doing some special magic. Anyway, Sergachev ends up getting a 2-game suspension for that. But so before we get to like Nylander, or sorry, like,
it's funny that you get a 2-game suspension, but only a 2-minute penalty.
Right. And
why is it not a major penalty? I don't get it. Anyway.
Okay. This is old school.
That's the NHL.
This is old school, and call me whatever. Like, I don't know. But what are your thoughts on, okay, Tavares stood up for him immediately and he kind of like went there, whatever. But after the fact, okay, like Mitch stayed in the game and he was fine and whatever. But like Simmons and Richie, in particular, these two guys, because they're probably the two only guys, not the only two guys, but two of the most likely candidates on the team.
Richie doesn't fight.
Are you kind of surprised that one of those two didn't fucking go after him and be like, what the fuck?
No. Because what hurts Tampa Bay more? Simmons punching Sergachev in the head for 30 seconds or beating them 2-1?
Okay, but both would have been nice.
Yeah, but what if Simmons goes out and instigates a fight, punches Sergachev in the head, gets him going, gets him to drop gloves, takes a 2-minute instigator, Tampa Bay scores 2-0. So okay. Yeah, you got your revenge. You got the fight in, but now you're down 2-0 against a team that shuts it down like nobody else.
Okay, and like I appreciate that, and all.
I think JT handled it perfectly. He got in there.
He didn't fight though. He just kind of
but he made the message like you can't do that. And also, did it not seem like it sparked JT? Like I thought after that, he was just flying. He was fired up after that.
That's fair. That's fair to say. But I'll say this: like if that was me, like if that was you going over and like I see you take a blatant headshot like that when you're fucking blindsided, I would have been on that motherfucker in 2 fucking seconds flat. 2 fucking seconds flat, man.
Yeah, and you're right.
Without hesitation.
There's a lot of people that would agree with you. It's kind of an older hockey mentality.
It is, but I
get it. But if the game was 4-0 Tampa, I think Simmons would have beat him. Or if you were playing somebody else, maybe. But it's the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're in your division. Every point counts. We know this.
Yeah.
You get to the wire at the end of the playoffs, and every win against Tampa and Boston is money.
Anyway, okay, fair enough. So anyway, the clock is ticking here. We got a theme going. Tonight, but the clock is ticking hard.
Clock is ticking.
It's looking like it's going to be over, and it's looking like they're not going to be able to do it. And then, holy fucking shit. Driving the net, Johnny Toronto gets a sweet. It was Mitch, right? I think that got him the puck out front. Yeah, Mitch ended up having 2 assists in that game. Everybody's like on fucking fire right now, just racking up the points all week long.
There was only one way to go for how cold they were to start.
That's true. But Tavares ties it with the fucking awesome goal, like just incredible.
First of all, he kept the puck in, but that was a shitty play by Hedman.
Yeah, rare mistake.
Yeah, he flicked it like JT had to jump and grab it, but he flicked it right to him. He could have whipped it the other way, whipped it this way. You don't see Hedman make that mistake too often.
He flicked it like you gotta flick your clock tonight. Yes. Okay.
If you have one of those, if you have not a digital clock, but one with the little arm.
I got one of those right now.
You got to actually physically grab it.
I'm going to have to flick the clock back.
Well, you can flick it, but I like to grab it and then swing it.
That's more aggressive. I like just flicking it a little bit.
Yeah, well, if you flick it a little bit at a time, you know how long it takes to get to the end if you flick it, but if you want to get there fast, you swing it hard.
Yeah, okay, that's true. I'll take that into consideration as I'm flicking the clock back later.
There you go. So JT ties it up 1-1.
Yeah, so we go to overtime and fucking Tampa Bay
takes a penalty.
Takes a penalty. So Hedman, not his best night. No. Not his best night.
No.
He was in on the Mitch incident. He was in on the like JT tying it. And he takes a penalty in overtime. Not his best.
It's crazy, but yeah, he took a penalty. The Leafs go 4-on-3 power play. They go with 4 forwards. Mike Babcock probably shit his pants when he saw that, because remember Mike Babcock used to start. Remember he started overtime with Leo Komarov and 2 defensemen. Because remember he did that, and he's like, you gotta make sure that they don't score, and it's like it's 3-on-3. You just put skill out there.
Okay, so now let's set up
forwards.
Let's set up the first segment of the night, Chatty. Right
already?
Here. Okay, first segment of the night. Okay, we're talking Mustache 34 to Mustache 88 for a double shot of Saved by the Stache.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Saved by the Stache.
It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the
Stache. All right, so this is a very rare Saved by the Stache.
Never before. This has never happened before.
I was watching a movie one time in Portland, Oregon, when I was like 20. And there was this girl, and she was like in this room, and there were 2 doors beside her. So she's standing, and there's 2 doorways over each of her shoulders. And she turns the lights on, and there's 2 guys with mustaches with no clothes on over each of her shoulders. Oh. That is what happened in this overtime. Why don't you break it down?
Well, look, man, like we've never in the history, in the 3 years that we've been doing this podcast, like, crazy, we have never had a double saved by the Stache. Not only Austin Matthews comes out, he gets it to Nylander, and Nylander rips it past Vasilevsky. The Leafs win it in overtime 2-1. But check this out.
I'm checking.
I just want to say this is what I would call a boss scenario, a boss play. Okay, like they've been calling Austin. I guess the whole thing is with Austin now. One of his nicknames is Tony. They like to call him Tony. So I'm like,
They don't.
Yeah, they call him Tony.
Like Tony Danza?
Like Tony Danza. Who's the boss? That's what I saw here. That's what I saw. Hey, Alyssa Milano. We'll get to her later. But
you're always going to get to everything later. Everything's coming. We'll get to that later.
It's hard to fit everything in at one time.
We have no Alyssa Milano on our sheets of things to talk about tonight. But
but we might get to her anyway.
Maybe when we're talking about swinging your clock back, we'll talk about Alyssa.
Exactly. So look, we got a double saved by the Stache here, but I would also like to call this "Who's the Boss?" It's Tony Danza, baby.
Around the bend, there were times lost a dream or two, found a trail, at the end was you.
It's Tony Danza. It's Big Tony. They call him Big Tony. I'm not making that up, Chad. Check it out, man.
I thought it was Big Poppy.
Now it's Tony. For some reason, it has changed to Tony. I don't know what exactly. Maybe that's a Joe Thornton thing. I'm not sure where the Tony came from, but they are now calling Austin Matthews Tony. So right away, when I hear Tony, I'm like, dude, this is Tony Danza. Who's the boss big time?
But he didn't have a mustache.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. I watched Who's the Boss.
He never, ever had one? Ever?
Well, he might have had one, but he didn't have one on Who's the Boss.
Okay, well, it might not have anything to do with the mustache, but either way, when I hear Tony, it's to me, look, like we might have to, Saved by the Stache. Yeah, that's one thing, but if they're going to keep calling him Tony, the Who's the Boss is a whole different thing, a whole new element.
At the end was you.
I love it. So Tony Danza, I mean, let's get, hey.
So Tony Stache number 1 feeds Stache number 2. Does Nylander have a nickname? Are they calling him Mona?
No, it's just Willie Styles still. It's Willie Styles for him. But anyway, so I love that. So that's our first segment this year of Saved by the Stache, and it is a fucking doozy, man.
A double Stache.
Stache.
You don't see that too often.
Also, a little Who's the Boss? Tony.
Yeah, we touched on it. We touched on it.
Mr. Seaver.
That's growing pains.
I know, but we haven't said that one time yet this season.
Hey,
Boner.
Mike.
no. All right, let's close.
So we
Close
we move on to the Boston game, but before we move on, a guest that we had on a couple weeks ago, Omar, he had invited me and Dale to a jungle party down in Mexico.
I saw the clips.
Did you see the clips?
Incredible.
Incredible. So we just want to say that we couldn't make the party, obviously,
Next time, I will fucking be there.
but it was incredible. It was like fire and snakes and pools and DJs and unbelievable.
Yeah, it looked incredible.
Unbelievable. So thank you for the invite and for the clips. It made me a little jealous. I'm surprised Dale wasn't there, but
In the future, I will be attending. I promise you that.
Yes.
Promise you that.
All right.
So Boston Bruins come into town, hockey night in Canada, Saturday nights.
I was excited for Vegas. I was really excited for Tampa. I was
Yep.
fucking ready for the Boston Bruins.
Yep.
We
same
haven't
here,
seen
man.
them in so long. I hate Brad Marchand.
Yep.
I was ready for this, and they did not let me down.
And especially the way that the Leafs have been playing, like they were coming in hot to this fucking game, right?
Yeah. But Boston's been playing pretty good. Not great, but
not great.
they beat the Florida Panthers. Like they've had some good games where they've shown some good things.
I thought this game was fucking incredible. Like I was like, it was a very exciting hockey game. I thought the first period was incredible. Like it was exciting, really fucking exciting game. Good
And
game.
honestly, for the majority of it, maybe this is just my bias. Did you not feel like Toronto was taking it to Boston?
I did.
Not
Like,
in the third period, but they had
No.
a 3-goal lead by that point.
So
But
like that's expected. But yeah, I thought the Leafs came out. They looked really good in the first period, really, really good. And I was very glad to see that they didn't come out flat. Like they're playing a good team. Like division, like you said earlier, these division games are huge this season, absolutely huge, because the way the Metro division is set up, there's no it's stacked. There's no guarantee that a team from the Atlantic gets a wild card spot. Maybe only the 3 top spots in the Atlantic get in. Okay, we got a little. The Bruins scored first in this game, right?
they did.
And we had 2 goals from Tavares, a goal from Mitch, 2 goals from Johnny Hogg. Like Tavares killing it.
What was the first goal? A goal?
Mitch scored 1 goal. Sorry, Tavares had 2, and Austin had 2. But was the first goal when something special happened? Because I think it was. Was it the first goal? I think it was.
The first goal was when Bergeron threw the net off.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit of a. We might have just the tip here.
You think this is a tip?
That's how I saw it. It was hit it, and I'll explain.
Since we're doing every segment tonight,
Hit it
here
and I'll
is.
explain.
Just the tip.
Perhaps play a little game called Just a Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
All right, you explain to me how this goal, where there was no net on, is a tip.
Okay, well, here's what happened, man. Here's what I saw. When it was Mitch that shot it, I believe, and the net was coming off, but the way it went into the net, the way that I saw it was that there was just a little tip. It was a nice little tip. It looked like he was just like, yeah, I'm just looking a little bit, got a tiny little bit tip on. I'm gonna get a little bit of a tip on this, just a little tip. That's what I saw, man. I saw Tavares, like he was really calm. He knew exactly where the puck was going, and he just put his stick in the right location for a little tip. That's what I saw. Did you not see that?
Okay, yes, I did see that. Like when they broke down the replay and everything, and they were
100 times waiting for the call to come.
Yeah, like I saw the little tip. I guess I was more focused on, did the puck cross the goal line?
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But I did. But I guess you're right. It was. I
was getting furious. I'm like, how you can't call back a little tip like that?
Yeah, but I mean, what do you call a tip like that? A baby tip, a tiny tip?
That was a
What
nice.
that?
That was a little tip. That was just usually Tavares has got a hard, firm, aggressive tip. Tonight he's like, you know what? I'm hard on it. I'm aggressive. He's like, I got to put my clock back tonight. I'm just going to get a little tip.
Yeah.
A little tip.
I'm getting an extra hour sleep tonight. Just a little tip.
He said, look, I'm going to go home and work on the clock. I better put a little tip in here.
And then when he was done with his little tip, he just kicked that puck. He just kicked it away.
So I don't know, like maybe you didn't see it, but I saw the tip. And
All right, I'll give you this
Chad, when I see a tip, it's a tip, regardless of how it goes. A tip's a tip, dude. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. That was a tiny soft.
Might be the softest, tiniest tip we've ever had. But hey, a tip is a tip, and we can't deny a tip. But
So
what a
anyway,
game! What a game!
It's 1-1.
The Tampa game, we didn't touch on this, but like they had that 5-on-3 at the end of the first period in the Tampa game, and it was so fucking brutal.
It was the worst 5-on-3 I've ever seen.
Like that.
Tampa's 3 defenders didn't have to move at all.
No. At that point, at the end of that, I was like, okay, like they're not going to win this game. They're not going to win this game, but they did, and so I can't believe we didn't touch on that because that was like a main. I don't think they had a shot. I literally counted like 30 passes and no shots. It was fucking ridiculous.
Oh, it was crazy.
It was ridiculous.
Crazy.
But anyway,
wait, one more thing on the tip. I think I figured it out. Is this a Red Shoe Diaries tip?
Oh yeah, I'd say I would. I think it is.
Okay, all right.
I think so.
David Duchovny, like.
Why not bring Duchovny into the conversation?
It's there.
We're throwing everything tonight. So,
but the thing about Red Shoe Diaries was you knew what was going on, but you didn't see what was going on.
Oh, you couldn't see it. You couldn't see
it. Well, that was kind of that tip tonight.
That's
like,
right.
It happened. But did it happen?
But this is the thing. If you just look at the right angle, you can just see the tip. You can just slightly see it. It's Red
Shoe Diaries.
Yeah, David Duchovny would have been all over this tip. He would have, all over.
He would have pulled out the Red Shoe Diary and wrote about this.
He would have wrote a full episode just on this little tip in front of the net. It would have been great.
I see it now. I see it. If you put some like blinds blowing in the wind in front of this tip, I see it. I see it. Anyway, 1-1.
John Tavares, his first goal of 2 on the night, but Austin Matthews, we could actually do a double shot of Saved by the Stache here because he got the fucking game winner in this fucking game too. But the key point where I brought up the power play is that here we go. Austin Matthews gets his first goal of the game to make it 2-1. Power play goal. Beauty. And then they scored on 2 consecutive power plays, both goals by Austin Matthews. So, Tony, who's the boss, baby? Who is the boss?
At the end was you.
Just ridiculous. Like, incredible performance by Austin Matthews. Like, it was just good to see him. Like, hopefully now this will be, the wrist is looking good. Like, it'll be, hopefully he can build on this and start burying it next week. It's going to be a busy week next week.
He had said that, like, his timing and his feel was off.
That's expected, sure.
Yeah. So now you can tell it's coming back. I mean, he looked good. I thought Tavares and Marner were unbelievable in this Boston game. I thought they carried the team. Marner was flying. We gave Marner a lot of shit a couple weeks ago. He was flying tonight. 4 points, flying.
Yeah. 1 goal, 3 assists. I said halfway through the game, I'm like, the Tavares Marner line is carrying this. Like Mitch,
Matthews got the 2 goals, but he didn't really do much. His line
before Matthews, like right before he got those 2 power play goals, I was like, yeah, JT and Mitch are carrying this game for the Leafs without a fucking doubt, which I love because, dude, how long did I talk about if you want to get the most out of John Tavares, put him back with Mitch Marner.
John Tavares looks 5 years younger.
Does he not?
He looks amazing now that he's playing with Martin. It's like it just rejuvenates him playing with someone with some skill and creativity.
And look, keep Willie with Austin. Maybe there some on Monday night or whenever the next game is. Like Nylander and Matthews might be flying, and Mitch might have, like.
Keith broke it up against the Lightning. He broke it up and he put Marner and Matthews together when they were desperate for a goal. Yeah. But the thing about Nylander is he's so hot and cold, right?
Yeah.
Where Marner kind of, he brings it most nights. So when you're playing with Nylander, you just don't have the same sort of stability that you have with Mitch Marner. But Austin Matthews, I think, is a better player right now than John Tavares, so he shouldn't need Mitch Marner. He should be able
100%.
to do it with William Nylander. I agree. You've been saying this for a long time. I agree with you.
So they go to the third up 3-1, and Tavares gets a backhand goal for a second of the game early in the third period. Boston gets another one, but really it was, Boston pushed, but I never felt for a second, which is weird because early in the season I was thinking the Leafs are not coming back in this game, or the Leafs aren't going to win this game. Tonight, when they had the lead in the third, I thought they've got this. They're going to win this game.
And again, Jack Campbell.
Oh, Campbell, dude, fucking Campbell. So Mitchie puts it into the empty netter, and it's 5-2 Leafs. They beat the fucking Bruins. They win all 3 games this week against Vegas, Tampa Bay, and the Boston Bruins. They take 6 of 6 points, and holy shit, the confidence.
And they could sweep their homestand if they win Monday against the LA Kings.
Confidence. They've won 5 games in a row. They're going for their 6th win in a row on Monday night. I don't see why that doesn't fucking happen. And
as soon as you say that, they lose.
Yeah, fair enough. But I don't know, man. Their confidence right now, I think, is like, okay, maybe because they were playing Tampa and because they were playing Boston, like they were a little more up for the games. Once they go back to playing teams like LA and whatever, are they going to falter again? I hope not. I really hope not. I would like to see this kind of more consistent style game in and game out. Like I really hope that that's where they get to here, but
this week, totally different team than the team we saw lose 7-1 to the Penguins, lose to the Senators, not beat the Rangers.
No, this looked promising. This looked promising. Honestly,
yes, this looked very promising. This looked like a good team. This looked like a team who could compete for the Atlantic Division title. You look better than the Bruins. You look just as good as the Lightning. Keep it going. All right, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk Jack Campbell. But stick around. We got a new segment. You've already heard like 17 segments so far tonight. We got another one, and it may include 3 mustaches. We don't know. Maybe 6. Stick around. You listen to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast.
The Tip In Maple Leafs podcast is brought to you by General Mills Bugles. What are bugles? Well, they're a cone-shaped corn chip that tastes awful. Looking to unimpress all your guests by putting out a bowl of food that tastes like shit? Then you need General Mills Bugles. Pick them up today at your local grocery store. Bugles.
All right, we're back here at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. We said we were gonna talk about Jack Campbell. We are gonna talk about Jack Campbell, but first, it is, as we're recording this, it's November 6th. And when it's November, that means it's Movember.
Movember is a leading men's charity that makes change happen by investing in these critical areas: mental health and suicide prevention. Like you said, prostate cancer, testicular cancer. Movember, funding groundbreaking health projects to help men live happier, healthier, longer lives. That's basically the deal.
We are behind it.
100%. So speaking of Movember, we got a new mustache in town, baby.
We do.
And this one is not a fucking joke. Okay.
Yeah.
Care to take a stab at it? Because there's only 3 of them on the team, and that one of them is new, and it is fucking wonderful. It is beautiful. It might be the best of the 3. Timothy Liljegren. Liljegren's mustache is like, I'm a fucking man. Look at my mustache.
It's like a Magnum PI mustache.
That's exactly right.
It's Tom Selleck, Magnum PI.
That's right. It's Tom. That's right.
He's solving crimes in Hawaii.
That's right.
That's what Timothy Liljegren's doing.
He's pounding chicks every night. He's solving crimes in Hawaii, like you said. Like, yeah, that's Tom Selleck, baby. Big time. What a mustache. Like, have you seen... Like, it's just such a beautiful, like, it's not just a little bit here and there. He's got a full fuzzy caterpillar on his fucking upper lip. Right now, I don't know if I we can get into Dermott and Hall here, okay? Like, I just wanted to touch on Liljegren's mustache because right now, with that mustache, like, I don't think I would ever take this guy out of the lineup again. Like, I don't think Liljegren, for me, something's got to give somewhere else because I'm not taking Liljegren out of the lineup ever again.
No. How do you bring that mustache? How do you bring that mustache into your office and be like, you're going back down? At like, least back down where? To Hawaii?
But as long as he's got that fucking thing going, there ain't no way you're fucking bringing him out. Are you kidding me?
He's playing with mustache power right now. He's playing unreal.
He looks incredible.
Yeah,
he's a fucking rookie. He looks like he's just cool, calm, collected. No,
he's played Justin Hall out of the lineup.
That pair of him and Sandin, two rookies. Well, Sandin technically a rookie, his first full season. Dude, like, I like those two a lot. They're smart. They're both smart players.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not like you would expect them to make more mistakes, and they make mistakes.
Of course.
They look. He had them out. Keith had them out in like the end of the game when they're trying to protect the lead against Boston. He had him out.
Muzzin and Riley are fucking vets, and they still fucking make mistakes. It's gonna happen. But for two young kids, they seem pretty fucking poised to me. And like I said, with a mustache like that, what the fuck? You think he's coming out? I don't fucking think so. Give your fucking head a shake. But okay, so then that would probably lead us into like the Dermott and Hall trade talks. I'm sure you've heard some buzzing around about this. Hall's been a healthy scratch for 4 straight games. Here's the thing. They scratched Hall as a healthy scratch, and they haven't lost since they've done it. So it's
not only have they not lost, but they found their mojo.
And so, like, I feel bad for Justin Hall because I know you're not the biggest Hall fan. I like Justin Hall. I think he will get back in personally eventually, but like,
you can't mess with the lineup right now.
No, that's just the whole thing. He was scratched, a healthy scratch, and then now they're on a 5-game fucking bender and like winning streak. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna fucking shake up the fucking lineup? Not right now. You're not. You're not losing. So, but what do you think of the trade talks? Is there merit to this or what? Dermott or Hall? Like here before you answer, here's what I would say. I don't think the Leafs have a lot of depth on the blue line. Like, why do you want to trade one of these guys? What does it make sense to trade one of these guys?
Well, yeah, I think it does.
Then you're going to leave yourself with just 6D, and like the next guy is going to be a guy from the Marlies. Like,
not if you get a defenseman back, and you don't have to. I'm not saying you're going to get a top 4 defenseman for Justin Hall, Travis Dermott, but you might get a piece that you could play in the lineup when someone gets hurt who may cost less.
The Leafs have 7D on their roster right now, okay? 2 of them shoot right-handed. Justin Hall and Timothy Liljegren. Everybody else is fucking lefties. The only 2 right-handed shots on that fucking team are Justin Hall and Timothy Liljegren. So I don't know. You want to take it down to 1? Or like, okay, you said, yeah, you might get somebody back, but I don't know, man. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me to be like, when they have their depth on D is not great. So what are you doing? Like, I don't know. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, these trade talks. I don't really get it. If one of them was to go for you, it's Dermott or it's Hall. One of them stays, one of them goes. If it was your choice.
Probably Hall.
Goes?
I know. Yeah, I would trade Justin Hall
over Travis Dermott.
Yeah.
I will say this. I thought Dermott had a pretty decent game tonight. He looked pretty good. He looked good in his own end. I thought Dermott had a pretty solid, maybe his best game of the year. I don't know.
I think Dermott has. I know he's into his career. He's not a rookie or anything.
Well, he's a lot younger than Justin Hall.
He's a better skater and a better stick handler. And I think you can work with those skills and make him a better player. But with Justin Hall, he is what he is. Like, he gets by on his size, his reach, and the fact that he was playing with Jake Muzzin. Good. But while we're on the topic of mustaches and Movember, we might as well just roll right into our newest segment tonight. So we got a new segment. It's called Saturday Night 6. And basically how this is going to work is we are going to choose random topics. It doesn't really matter what the topic is. And then we're going to give my top 3, Dale's top 3, and it's the Saturday Night 6. For tonight, We're going with mustaches that never were. Like the guy in the Mighty Ducks says, you're not even a has-been, you're a never was. These are mustaches on Leaf players that we think should have been there, players that should have had a mustache. So let's roll our new theme song.
It's the Saturday Night Six with Chad and Dale.
All right, so we are going to choose
Saturday Night Six, baby. Saturday
Night Six.
The first edition, just to reiterate, like you said off the top, it's Movember. So what better way to start than mustaches? The top 6 Leafs that never had a stash that would have improved greatly if they would have rocked a stash. Players or coaches?
Can I go first?
Please.
The first player that I have.
I wonder if we have any of the same. This is going to be very interesting.
We didn't talk about this.
No, we never do. When we do shit like this, it's like tongue in cheek, man.
It's got to be. It's got to be real. It can't be
real
scripted.
reactions, not scripted. I have no idea who you chose, and you have no idea who I chose.
Well, listen, we are the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast, and we love a good tip. And is there a better tip than Game 7 of 1993? When this guy tipped in the game-winning goal to knock the Detroit Red Wings out. Now, he went down in Maple Leaf history, and everybody really loves this guy. But would he have gone down higher in Maple Leaf history with a thick stash? I'm talking Nikolai Borshevsky with a stash. Could you imagine him tipping in that goal, but with a dirty stash?
He would. Look, you want to talk about...
He'd be on Legends Row.
You want to talk about legend? I was just going to say, you want to talk about legend status? Okay. If he would have had a mustache for that tip, there'd be a statue on Legends Row right now.
But unfortunately, he didn't.
So check this out. This guy had a real rough go in Toronto, a real rough go. He was almost booed out of the building. Like, they almost booed him right out of the fucking building. Like, every time he touched the puck, he was getting booed. But I'll tell you something. If he would have had a fucking mustache going, they would have never booed him once, and he probably would have had a legendary career on the Leafs blue line. And I'm talking about Larry fucking Murphy.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
you're right.
Why do you think he got fucking booed out of town?
Because he wouldn't grow a mustache.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a no fucking brainer, man. If he would have had a mustache, he would have went down probably.
Because he did have a mustache at one point in his career.
Not when he played for the Leafs.
Not when he played for the Leafs.
He went on to have great success. He won a cup or
with
2
mustaches.
in Detroit. And he decided to fucking finally grow a mustache. Boom, he's hoisting a fucking Stanley Cup. In Toronto, no mustache, booed every time he touches the fucking puck.
All right, so this guy, this is recent. This is recent. We're not going Larry Murphy. We're not going Nikolai Borshevsky.
Okay.
This guy, he had a soft spot in Leafs in Leafs fans' hearts. They love this guy, and he was very soft spoken, and he talked, and he did everything right, and he was a good person. He blew one of the biggest games in Maple Leaf history, and things just didn't work out. But this guy may have gone down as one of the greatest goaltenders.
I think I know who you're talking about.
And he probably would have won the Game 7 against Boston when they had the 4-1 lead.
I knew who it was.
James Reimer. What could have been, had you just grown, a dirty.
Well, I'll tell you what would have happened if he would have had a mustache.
No goals would have went in.
The Bruins don't come back and win that game if James Reimer would have had a mustache. Well, you know what? I hate to say that I chose this guy, but I know that it would have made him so much better. This guy was already incredible. Okay, I'm staying on the Leafs blue line for my second pick.
Oh yeah, you love riding the stash in the blue line.
A short, not too long a stint with the Leafs, but he really helped a younger team coming in as a veteran, fresh off a Stanley Cup championship. If this guy would have had a mustache his Leafs career, I believe, maybe would still be going today. And I'm talking about Ronald Hainsey. Ronnie Hainsey. Ron Hainsey.
Why do I picture him with a mustache?
He never had a fucking mustache.
I know he didn't have one, but I kind of
if he-
picture him with a mustache.
That's the guy that should have had a mustache. If he would have had a mustache, think about, okay, do you think they lose to Washington if Hainsey has a mustache? Do you think they lose to Boston that second year if Hainsey has a mustache? I don't fucking think so.
No, they don't.
Great Leafs defenseman. He really helped the young guys, but he didn't help them enough because he didn't have a fucking mustache.
So I'm going future on my last pick here of
Future.
He still has a chance. He plays for the Leafs today, and he is the longest serving Maple Leaf, and he has seen a lot of heartbreak, but we can turn this around.
I think he's teased it before. I think he's teased it a little bit.
We can get the playoff victories that we've wanted. We can get to the Stanley Cup, but this guy who just signed a new contract needs to lead this team, and the only way he's going to do it is to grow a blonde bombshell mustache on his upper lip. Morgan Riley.
Yes.
Come on.
Now
He's future one. He didn't have a stash, but there's still time.
Listen, he's got another 8 years to get the stash in. Now is the time, Morgan.
He could have it by the end of next week.
If you're listening, Morgan, get the stash going now. You keep it for the next 8 years. You will be on fucking Legends Row, guaranteed. And listen, you got anything else to say about Morgan Riley and his mustache?
No,
I got something. Now listen to this. A little birdie told me. Okay.
The test of virtue. How did I see that coming?
Test of virtue loves a dirty mustache.
All right, here it is, Dale. Your last one. Okay. I'm excited to hear who you got here.
You're not gonna like this one. This is mean. This is mean one.
Let's hear it.
Look, man, I was hesitant to put this guy in, but if this fucking guy had a mustache when he was fucking the Leafs coach, I think he might still be the coach today. And I'm talking about the big bad cock, Mike Babcock.
Okay, so that was Saturday Night in 6. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hey, speaking of Saturday Night 6, did you see the ass crack behind Sheldon Keefe's shoulder the other night?
What the fuck was this guy doing, man? What the fuck? What was he doing? Was he like, did he know?
Did he do it on purpose?
I don't know, man.
Like, you can feel it. You can feel the draft when you have your shirt up and your ass is hanging out.
Like, the guys in Overdrive were talking about it. They're going to try to find him and get him on the show, right? I don't know if you saw that segment or not, but like,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. They did a full 20 minutes on this guy's ass crack. Like, they could not believe it. But anyway, yeah, like Sheldon Keefe's head was like, if he would have, like, how do you not see that?
It was in the peripheral vision. It was there. If he had turned just a little bit, he'd be like, oh my God. But it was, tight game. Anyway,
I can't wait to see if the Overdrive guys can come up with.
If you want to see, if you haven't seen a picture of it, go to.
Just Google it.
Go if you go on Twitter and you go to Overdrive's account, they have posted. I think they've pinned a picture of it to the top of their page. So
100%.
You can go check it out there. Anyway, we got, this sucks to say because last podcast we were talking about how the groin is healed.
I know.
We got groin problems again.
Okay, he came a little too early. That's the problem here.
It's exactly right.
Last year Campbell came early. Look what happened there. Yep. Okay. Now Mrazek, he gets hurt in the second game of the season. Groin. Boom. What did we say? These things can linger. You can't trust a fucking pulled groin.
No.
Nope. Cannot trust it. He came back. He played one game. Mrazek won that Detroit game. He looked pretty good. Didn't look like the groin was bothering him. But then the following week at practice, he was like not on the ice and whatever. And then groin's flaring. It's flaring up. Now, I can't. Flaring. Yeah, it's flaring up. I don't know if he's where he's at with setting, like whipping his clock.
Everybody's got to whip their clock tonight.
But maybe he whipped it too quick and too hard. Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe he used his foot.
That's a dangerous technique.
Yeah, some guys do that, especially Europeans. They really love to use their feet when they're whipping their clock, and
That's a problem. That's maybe a serious
That is how you pull a groin. That's
Easy.
how you pull a groin.
Take it easy, Peter. Take it easy, buddy.
Peter, take it easy.
Look,
Okay.
if anybody who listens to this podcast on a regular basis, if we've taught you anything, it's you don't want to come too soon. Okay. You never want to come too early. We can't reiterate this. We cannot stress this enough.
If you do anything,
you do not want to come too
if
early.
if you do anything in your daily job or daily activities that involve the groin,
come late as late as possible.
late as possible. If you have a groin injury, you don't want to come early. You want to put that off, come as late as you can, But anyway, the man who is in the net, whose groin is looking dynamite.
Top notch groin here.
Top
notch.
groin.
He must, dude, think about the work Jack Campbell must have did on his groin in the offseason to be doing what he's doing now. He wasn't using his fucking feet.
No, if he's whipping clocks, it's hands.
Oh my God.
No feet. No feet. But Jack Campbell, can we say anything about this guy? His numbers off the charts, like save percentage, goals against average, like top. He's going up against the best goalies in the league. Now, small sample size because he's only been a starter for.
But the sample size is growing. That's what she said.
That's what she said. But the groin is healthy. Jack Campbell, he's going up on the list as one of the favorites on the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Like,
oh my God.
We can't get enough of this guy.
And neither can the fan base, apparently, because every time the guy makes a fucking save, whether it's a 10-beller or just a minor fucking covering the puck, like the fans are loving it. Have you seen the Leafs fan base get behind a goaltender like this so soon? Like, can you recall that ever happening? Like,
honestly, no.
Like
no,
the fans loved Cujo and they chanted Eddie when Belfour was here.
But they were established stars who came to Toronto. This is like a guy who we traded.
Yeah, you're right.
We traded nothing for and got him as backup for Freddie Anderson. He stole Freddie Anderson's job. Freddie Anderson left, and like half the fan base was like, "Okay, well, we got Campbell." And now he comes in this season, and not only are they behind him, but everybody loves this guy. We want him to succeed.
What do you think it is? Because I have an opinion on it.
His
what
attitude.
do you think it is?
Dude, when someone is that nice and that like tapping his players after every save, his interviews are always so positive and so upbeat. You watch the documentary, he took the loss the hardest to the Montreal Canadiens. How can you not love this guy?
With the fan base, like, man, this guy, he doesn't make a lot of money. He plays his heart out every fucking night. He gives a fucking shit. I don't know. That's what I think. Like,
also his road to get here.
It's sure.
Like he went, it kind of reminds me of Roy Halladay with the Blue Jays. So Roy Halladay came up and he was drafted really high. Jack Campbell was 11th overall, which is really high for super
dude.
High. Roy Halladay came up to the Blue Jays and he was drafted really high, big prospect, didn't really work out, went all the way down to, I think, single A or double A ball. Jack Campbell was like that. Like he went down to the minors. He couldn't really do it there, but they find their groove and they work so hard to get where he is right now. Like, I feel like he appreciates it. He knows the grass isn't greener on the other side.
Oh, no, it's not. The grass is as green as it's ever going to get right fucking now.
It's a fairy tale making,
dude, Jack is my boy. I love this guy. There's nothing he could do that would prevent me. I love this fucking guy. I love his attitude. I love everything about him. I love how fucking much he battles in fucking net every fucking night. I absolutely love this guy, but he's a UFA. Okay. So what do? Do you let this play out? We'll move off of this real quick here, but just before we do you let this play out and you want to see more like into after Christmas and see where he's at, like come the spring before you go to a bigger number? Where are you at with where are you at with the contract on Jack Campbell?
It's got to start at Peter Mrazek and higher. That's it.
Well, they might have to get out from that Mrazek deal, to be honest. Okay, so quickly then, before we move off, it's staying on the goalies. Okay,
Like, I just don't want to talk about it because let's just enjoy Jack Campbell.
That's fair.
Let's just
That's
enjoy him this year, and we'll worry about it at the end of the year.
That's fair, but I would be very sad to see him leave.
So to finish off this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our final segment. We've pretty much touched on every segment we do, but it's time for the one that I'm excited for to see who you've picked to hit the showers. But it's time for Hot in the Slot or Hit the Showers.
He's so hot right now. All right, God damn it, let's hit the showers, God damn it.
Ardell, I'm going to let you go first. Are we doing Hot in the Slot first or Hit the Showers first? Hot in the Slot.
Let's do hit the showers first. So we'll end on a positive.
All right, that sounds good. All right, who do you want to hit the showers? Can't pick Nick Ritchie again.
Yeah, it's an absolute no-brainer, man. I'm going to tell you right now. It's an absolute fucking no-brainer for me. Fourth line player, not bringing shit. Let me tell you something about Nick Ritchie, okay? It's Nick Ritchie. Hit the showers. Fucking big time, it's Nick Ritchie. Engvall would be a close second, but it's Nick Ritchie. And here's what I would say. Here's why. Do you want to know how many forwards on this team don't have a goal? Take a stab at that. How many forwards on this team don't have a goal right now?
One.
Guess who it is?
Nick Ritchie.
Nick Ritchie. Cannot believe he's making $2 million. He's not bringing
$2.5 million.
Okay, 2.5. Look, has he almost set up Simmons the other night, and like maybe he's doing a couple things here and there.
You could sign 4 more Spetzes.
Not enough. Like, okay, people might want to be like, oh, his game's coming around. And sorry, excuse me, he's on the fucking second power play. What the fuck is that about? What the fuck is that? You got guys like Stache sitting on the bench, Kerfoot sitting on the fucking bench. Those are just 2 guys that come to mind on the second power play unit, and Nick Ritchie's on the fucking ice. Are you fucking kidding me?
The person I'm going to choose to hit the showers, I'm not going to choose Nick Ritchie because Dale has poured enough gasoline on that. But for me, the guy who's got to hit the showers is Peter Mrazek. I know you got groin injuries. I know you got groin problems, but this was supposed to be a tandem. This was supposed to be 2 goalies making equivalent sort of money.
Oh, it's been anything but that.
It's basically Jack Campbell standing on his head and Peter Mrazek playing with his groin in the dressing room. So I know he's injured. Hit the showers, get healthy, come back and help Campbell so that we can have a tandem and so that we can get Campbell a little cheaper. But let's get to the best one.
Good call. Interesting pick there. Interesting
Hot
pick.
In the slot. There are so many to pick from.
Okay.
Or do you want me to go first?
Well, I think we're picking the same guy.
All right. Well, who do you got?
I'll be very shocked if we don't. He had an incredible week. He's on at least a 5-game point streak. And this guy is doing fucking everything. He's tipping it in. He's going to the fucking net. He's tying the games late. He's doing fucking everything. It's John Tavares.
It's John Tavares every day of the week.
This fucking guy looks like what did you say at the beginning? He looks like he's 5 years younger.
He looks like he's 5 years younger. He looks like he's 26 years old right now.
So how much of that do you think comes
and considering how his season ended last year? You couldn't have asked for a better start.
Oh, dude, how much of that do you think goes to him being back to playing with Mitch?
I think it's 2 things. 1, it goes back to being with Mitch. 2, he let the hair grow. He has a bushy Teen Wolf flow going.
Now, should we talk about a mustache?
I mean, if he grew a mustache, he may be the greatest captain in Leaf history, but we don't know.
He might be unstoppable. He might be fucking unstoppable. If he fucking gets a stash going, and I could see him with he's Italian, bro. I could see him with a very fucking full, aggressive mustache.
Yeah. As much as we need Matthews and Marner to do their thing, and this team needs John Tavares to play like he's playing.
100%, man. And look. Marner had a great week, like you said. Matthews had a great week. Campbell was fucking exceptional as well. But to me, the guy leading the way this week, it was John Tavares.
So next week, the Maple Leafs are going to take the LA Kings at home, 7:30 start. This will be the last of their home game. If they win this game, they'll sweep their homestand. But then they go on the road to play Philadelphia.
That should be an interesting game. Midweek,
that will
Philly.
be and Philly. And then they come home Friday night to play the Calgary Flames, and then they go to Buffalo Saturday. So they have a back-to-back.
Back-to-back.
We may see Joseph Wall.
I think if Mrazek isn't ready to go, which I doubt he will be, I think we're going to see Joseph Wall, and that's going to be fucking awesome. Would you play Joseph Wall against the Flames or the Sabres?
Sabres.
Oh, not me. He'll get burned alive in fucking Buffalo. It just always happens. Okay, you would think it would be the easier thing in Buffalo, but I'd almost play him against the Flames at home.
I think it's easier. I think it's easier to start on the road. I just think, I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe.
Anyway, for the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast, on Twitter at the Tip in Podcast, email us at tipinpodcast@gmail.com. Check out our YouTube channel at the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast. Hit like, hit subscribe. We have a Patreon page, patreon.com/the Tip in Podcast. You can donate to the podcast. You can make a donation as little as a cup of coffee a month. That's it. Hey, listen, I thought this week the Leafs were lucky to maybe get half the points that were on the table.
They killed it. They killed it.
They killed it. We're proud of them. Next week, if they keep playing like this, why can't we keep this going? Let's keep it going. Anyway, for the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast, I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
And we will
catch you later.